I got a bunch of tips to go through. Tip number 1, convert the Alchemy Lab from your forge. You get 4 forges once you start maxing everything out. You can see right now, 3 of them are already converted over, and 1 of them is on my Alchemy Lab. You only need to run 1 forge at a time. You don't really need multiple forges. I don't recommend doing the training camps, and certainly don't recommend doing your resources on your advanced mine or your advanced farm. You're gonna definitely need those. So when you're building the Alchemy Lab, build it on a forge. Tip number 2, 1,000 Alka shards are what you are going to be using to create either 30 emblems or sometimes a bonus 4-star ascension item. That 4-star ascension item is always going to be in the top left-hand corner when you transmute. So it's really important that when you're transmuting these, you're gonna be picking either the emblems or the 4-star ascension item. Tip number 3, stay away from the 3-star ascension items and the battle items after transmuting. You're gonna see there's a whole bunch of different options. I only recommend choosing the emblem deficiency that you have. That's gonna be really, really important. Tip number 4, do not research all the stages. As you can see, I haven't researched many of the stages. I only researched a few, and then I've researched the important ones that I know that I'm gonna be using. When you get the Alchemy Lab, you're gonna be running pretty much the same thing consistently the whole time, and you're gonna be yielding a whole bunch of Alka shards from it. Tip number 5, researching all stages wastes time that you can't get back. You can't get all this time back. By you constantly researching it, you're wasting your time and you're not gonna be able to get that back. You wanna get the most efficiency transmutes possible. Speaking of time, I gotta wish happy birthday to someone very special. Sing along with me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to, ooh, dragon breath all over the cake and the balloon. Sorry about that, bro. Happy birthday, Raid Shadow Legends. Now's a great time to give Raid a try. Why? Because it's their 2nd birthday. Woo! So Raid's got some questions for its birthday. If you could add anything to the game, what would it be and why? You gotta do something about the silver. It costs like 15 million silver to level up a full equipment set. It's a lot of silver. Just add an extra little dungeon that is just for farming silver. It would solve everything. So which champion best embodies your personality and why? I would definitely choose Kale. I remember when I first started this game, they gave me the option. I picked him immediately. It looked like the avatar from Empires and Puzzles. We're both kind of like little elf dudes. And we got these long luscious locks. And they have piled on the content to celebrate. That's why I like this game so much. They have this Facebook post going on right now that if you like their page, everybody in game is getting a whole bunch of free resources. And to celebrate their birthday, Raid Shadow Legends is running special tournaments just for their birthday now until mid-April. They're also introducing a new hero faction, the Shadowkin, and the whole group of new heroes is getting released to the realm. It's pretty awesome. And to top it off, they're running clan versus clan tournaments. So you battle it out to see which one of your clans is the best. Pretty awesome. If this sounds exciting to you, all you gotta do, click on the link in the description. If you're a new player in the next 30 days, you will receive 3 ancient shards, 50 gems, 100,000 silver, and 1 free epic champion, Joan Toon. This guy's pretty amazing for the Doom Tower. Check it out. You can also scan this nifty QR code to download and receive all your gifts and all your treasure. It's gonna be waiting for you right over here. Thanks again, Raid Shadow Legends. Happy birthday. Here's to another amazing year. Tip number 6, researching all stages wastes resources in ham. You gotta use a whole bunch of ham to research these. Don't do it. It's a very bad idea. Tip number 7, emblems are crucial for your development in game. You need emblems. They're super important, probably the most prized commodity at this point in the stage of this game. You need to be able to emblem up the different heroes that you need. And whether you're just kind of getting started or you're at an advanced stage, emblems are really, really important, especially for your defense. And that's why it's really important that you build the Alchemy Lab, because this is pretty much one of the most efficient ways to be receiving emblems for free. Tip number 9, emblems turn 3-star heroes into usable heroes for Titans and offense. So when you have the emblems, myself personally, I threw them on Nordry, and I was able to run him on 14-star Titans. These are really, really important because you can have really relevant heroes in 3 stars and be able to use them in later stages. So that's also another really important reason why you got to run the Alchemy Lab. Tip number 10, the highest yielding resource is idle time. Alchemy Lab is the only way to gain emblems on idle time. So what I mean by that is you can see right now your farms, these are really, really important to level up because you're going to be getting this resource by not doing anything. And Alka shards are pretty much the only way right now that you can receive emblems on idle time, and that's why I prioritize it quite a bit because I'm gaining emblems by doing nothing and having the time work for me to gain those emblems. So it's really important that you're leveling it up and you're doing it. Tip number 11, emblems are the only item that you can reset at full value. And that's what I really like about this game with the emblems. They have so many different emblem resets that you can use. Myself, I have like a ton right now. How many do I have? I got 33 reset emblems that I can do right now. So it's really important that you use these emblem resets on heroes that you know that you're going to be using, and then being able to get all those resources back, especially because they are such an important item to be resetting and to be gaining back. Tip number 12, wasting time keeps you from getting to the important levels and the max number of transmutes. When you sit here and you are researching all these different things, you're wasting your time and you're not getting to where you can actually get the max number of transmutes, which gives me to tip number 13. You get 1 transmute till level 5. Once you get to level 5, you get to 2 transmutes, and then once you get to level 10, you get to run 3 at the same time. Again, idle time is going to be really, really important. Being able to run 3 at the same time is going to give you the most alchemy shards, which is going to give you the most amount of emblems. Tip number 14, you get 2 different types of transmutes for each level, a total of 20 different options to pick. So it is kind of confusing when you see this and you're like, Alchemy 10, what does this all work? So this goes from like the first one would be 1A, 1B, and then common battle item, that would be 2A, uncommon battle item is 2B, and so on and so forth. So every single time that you upgrade a level, you have 2 different things that you unlock, and you can see a lot of it I haven't even researched because it's not really worth it. Tip number 15, this is a chart that shows you all the different transmutes that you get. Take a look at this chart right now. Make sure you screenshot this chart. It's going to be really, really helpful for you. Tip number 16, you can actually use this to store ham. This is what I've been doing here for myself personally. I throw some of these in here, and if I want to collect ham, I can throw that in there. This is actually a much more efficient way of restoring ham rather than using like TC20 or the other training camps in 13. Tip number 17, the second to last stage in the Alchemy Lab is an absolute must for you to be doing. What's really, really awesome about the rare ascension material one in here, first and foremost, you don't have to do anything really wild or crazy to be getting this. You can see I got a ton of ingredients, cost 12. But the whole thing of this is that you actually have a 5% chance of getting an epic ascension item from this. So not to mention are you getting over 1,000 on this in 7 days, but you also have the chance of getting the Alchemy Shard epic item from this too. So there's 2 different ways you could potentially be getting an epic ascension, a 4-star ascension item from transmuting in the rare ascension material. It's super, super important to do this. I know it does cost 100 gems. It does cost a little bit of ham, not too much on the ham, but you've got a ton of resources to be doing this. Super important to do. Tip number 18, the last stage, in my opinion, again, is another must. For me, it is super hard to receive 4-star ascension items and the huge payout of the Alchemy Shards. Obviously, you can kind of convert some things over and being able to ascend heroes that you really, really need. You got 7 days to wait. You get the Alchemy Shards. So you almost have 2 different chances potentially to be getting the ascension item that you need. What's really cool is that the ascension item that you throw in is not going to ever turn the ascension that you get out of the Alchemy Lab for this transmutation. So for instance, right now I've got a whole bunch of darts, throw this in here, and I could potentially get another set of rings that I could need. And more importantly, I'm going to be getting the Alchemy Shards. So in my opinion, I'm always going to run this stage as well too. Tip number 19, if you are cheap to play and you don't really want to invest either like a whole bunch of ham or gems into your Alchemy Shards, I would recommend running the lower levels. 1B is going to be really awesome for you, as well as 5B. Those are going to be really good if you want to have the best way to convert with the most amount of time. Tip number 20, if you want to get the most value out of the lab, which is what I'm doing, I recommend running 10A and 10B that you can see that I'm running. These run all the time, always and forever. And then whatever else you need. Currently right now, I'm doing the epic crafting material because this is yielding me the most amount of epic shards. and it's not too crazy anything that I really need to get rid of. And like I said, I can take that ham out if I need it, and I can use it towards something else if I really need to do an ascension. But I'm really glad to always be getting the alka shards coming out of this, rather than if I'm running TC20 and getting a 3-star hero that I don't really need. So if you want the most out of your lab, I recommend those two. I know it does take quite a bit to build up and level up and everything like that. I get that. If you want to stick to the freebie, the really kind of cheap stuff, you want to make sure you get to at least 5, and then you're running 1B and 5B, so you get the 2 transmutes. So thanks so much for watching this content. Make sure you like this video, subscribe. If you like the video, let me know. I really appreciate it. I'll see you on the next video. Tip number 6, reaching, cut that out. This is a shard. You can cut this out while I think, because I gotta get back to where I'm at. So easy.